I just watched my former best friend and business partner stand on a stage and accept a Tech Innovator award for a software architecture that I wrote in my pajamas 3 years ago. They think they won. They think the $2 million in VC funding they just secured is their ticket to the big leagues. What they don't know is that the entire platform is built on a logic bomb. I buried in the source code the day I realized they were planning to cut me out. In exactly 48 hours, their entire database will begin to encrypt itself, and I'm the only one with the key. Am I the asshole? To understand why I'm about to dismantle a multi-million-dollar company from my laptop, you have to understand the genesis of the betrayal. It didn't start with lawyers or locked doors. It started with cheap pizza, stale coffee, and a friendship I thought was unbreakable. 3 years ago, Mark, Sarah, and I were not just colleagues. We were a tribe. We were the classic startup cliché. 320-somethings fueled by caffeine and the delusion that we could disrupt a trillion-dollar industry from a garage in San Jose. The industry was logistics, specifically predictive routing for mid-tier freight companies. It sounds boring, I know, but to me, it was a beautiful, chaotic puzzle waiting to be solved. The existing systems were reactive. They looked at traffic jams after they happened. My idea, which I christened Sentry, was different. It used machine learning to predict bottlenecks before they formed, analyzing everything from weather patterns to local construction permits to historical accident data. It was proactive. It was revolutionary. I was the architect. I lived in the code. I spent my nights debugging neural networks and my days optimizing server loads. I didn't care about the money or the fame. I cared about the elegance of the solution. Mark was the face. He was the kind of guy who could sell ice to a polar bear and make the bear thank him for the privilege. He had a smile that disarmed you and a handshake that felt like a contract. He knew nothing about Python or SQL, but he knew how to make people believe in the magic of what I was building. Sarah was the organizer. She was the one who kept the lights on, literally and figuratively. She handled the spreadsheets, the incorporation documents, or so I thought, and the endless administrative minutiae that bored Mark and me to tears. She was the glue that held our chaotic little universe together. We had a verbal agreement, shaken on over a stack of empty pizza boxes at 3 a.m., equal thirds. We were partners. We were going to change the world together. I trusted them with my life. And more importantly, I trusted them with my intellectual property. The early days were intoxicating. We worked out of my garage, surrounded by servers I had built from spare parts. Mark would pace the driveway on his phone, pitching potential beta testers, his voice rising and falling in that rhythmic cadence of the born salesman. Sarah would be at a folding table in the corner, typing furiously on her laptop, ensuring we didn't run afoul of zoning laws or tax codes. And I would be in the zone, headphones on, building the brain of Sentry line by line. We're going to be huge, Mark would say, clapping me on the shoulder after I showed him a successful simulation where Sentry rerouted a fleet around a predicted pileup, saving the hypothetical company thousands in fuel and delay costs. You're a genius, man. A literal genius. We're a team, I'd correct him, feeling a warm glow of belonging. I build the engine, you drive the car, and I make sure you have gas. Sarah would chime in, smiling over her glasses. It felt perfect. It felt like destiny. But looking back, I can see the cracks forming even then. There were hairline fractures in the foundation, invisible to the naked eye but fatal under pressure.
If you want to find out what happens next, click the link below the channel logo for the full video.